So I don't want to just be a downer. I want to offer practical, useful information that you can do something with. So it's not just about, oh God, this is so scary. Nothing is what it seems. That's the point. Let it go. Nothing is what it seems. Your fear is because you believe you should know what it is. You never have. Not fully. Not to the point of certainty that you have applied. You have given a value of certainty, meaning how sure you things are, that is higher than the reality of what you can actually know. If you feel discomfort with that idea, listen. That is the problem. It has nothing to do with reality. Reality does not give a fuck. You have calculated something, and you are probably a little off. If that gives you discomfort, that's what governs you. You have just experienced active inference, embodied cognition, the extended mind. Just the idea that you could have calculated something wrong gives you the physical idea or experience, the what you would describe as a physical experience, what you would describe as an experience, a sense at all of discomfort, of disquiet. That's what I'm talking about. That's what governs us, how we manage that sensation. Do we turn the idea off? Do we turn the noise off? Do we then alienate the idea that person is wrong, they're an asshole, they're fake? Do you see how everything in our life is tied to the governing of a signal we didn't even know we had? So now, when you experience something as crazy, think of it as this is your red flag for you to stop, be present, and figure it out. And realize that 99% of the time, it is not a threat, not in the threat that you think it is. And that acting and thinking and reevaluating it to a closer to what it really is allows you to react and act better, meaning closer to the truth. And believe you me, you're less governed by fear and uncertainty and doubt. Because you don't need to be, but you need to calibrate yourself to that. And this is one of those tools in which you can calibrate yourself. Because, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to experience crazy. You're going to experience crazy. It's everywhere. Our politics right now. I had talked about it a lot. Is a Trump supporter crazy? Is a Biden supporter crazy? Is a Harris supporter crazy? They both feel, the hardcore ones feel that each other is crazy. Those numbers of people, the actual literal numbers of people are growing. It used to be a very vocal minority. It's a growing minority. And many people who look at this and see it as crazy, both sides as crazy, just disengage. Disengaging gives volume and space to the crazy. It gives volume and space to both sides. And that these systems seem to be really, really weird. Well, pause and take a look. You'll see, because the systems don't work as advertised. It's not about who's in charge. There's no conspiracies, none of this. It's just about pausing and realizing, holy shit, things don't work as I understand. That's it. It's not about what they are. People who claim definitively that they know what they are generally are trying to just offset their signal like everybody else. I'm trying to give you certainty. I know for sure. And in fact, even when we look at things, when people don't offer immediate solutions, we throw it away. That's crazy. That's not helpful. Well, guess what? Maybe we have to identify and truly experience and understand the problem before we can even understand the questions. You can ask stupid questions if you're coming from a stupid place, meaning not helpful for you, not helpful for anybody else. What is stupid to you? A lot of times people use that as like, oh, it's dumb, it's not intelligent, it's stupid. What are those? They're just words. What is that? What is intelligence? What is that? Is it being able to regurgitate information? Is it knowledge? Is it connection? What is it? We don't have very good definitions, but we act like we do. We act like we have 100% certain definitions. We move forward with 100% certain definitions, and then we act like it's crazy when they're challenged. The reality of it is, it's not crazy. That crazy is your experience to the challenge of your model of the world. And sometimes examination, looking at things in an honest, earnest way, is going to be experienced as crazy and as a challenge because you're challenging your view of the world. Do you need your view of the world to be absolutely correct? Most of us would say, well, yeah, in some way we might sidestep it. We might try to avoid it. We might try to put a bunch of different words in front of it. But fundamentally, we need to feel confident that we understand our world. That's fine. That's how we work. That is actually being a creature of active inference. We are driven by certainty. Certainty is life, uncertainty is death. It actually does make sense. That's not being stupid or being lesser or not thinking. But what happens is if you realize that, if you realize how we're actually governed, what actually drives us, what actual intelligence is, and a lot of these things that we are doing that we retroactively label as I decided are actually us handling our internal signal. It's actually much more emotional regulation than intelligence or decision. From everything where you want to eat, who you interact with, what you pick up, what you listen to, what comes to your attention is built from this. We use terms like unconscious, but the reality of it is that it's the models, your unconscious thought, your sense of self are these models, are these interpretations of the world, and all of your sensations come from them. So pausing and to realize that when you change your interpretation of the world, it changes how you experience it. If you stop and think about the crazy and realize that it's not crazy and get legitimately comfortable with that through understanding and acceptance and repetition and constant doingness of it, you experience the world differently. The catch is that you have to get your model of the world, your understanding of the world closer to reality. What is reality? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Of course there's reality. How the fuck can there be reality if a significant portion of our society thinks that the election was stolen 4 years ago, and another significant portion believes those people are evil or retarded or stupid, and that this is how we're going to decide who runs the most powerful country in the world? That sounds crazy to me. Why? Because it's counter to my interpretation of the world, how it should be, which is reasonable, fair, democratic. You know why? Because my interpretation of the world is wrong compared to the reality of it. And I can be angry and I can do all these things, but if I want to really interact with it, if I want to make real change, I have to understand the actual reality. Narrative can get you so far, but not that far. That's the point. There's a difference. You don't think about that. And it doesn't matter what the big stuff at scale is, we need to figure out ourselves. And that's it. It'll fall in line. If enough of us do that, it'll fall in line. It will. You don't believe me? Fine. It doesn't matter. If you figure it out for yourself, win. That's it. Every life matters. Yours, mine, everybody's. And if we can stop getting in our own way and pretending like everybody else is crazy, instead of it actually being us, we're the ones that cannot update our views of the world because the views of the world that we were given are wrong. Yes, you can pull yourself up by your own bootstraps, but you're not meant to do everything alone. We are creatures of certainty and social in nature. We are built that way. We learn. We spend over a decade of our life having to grow up in a family unit. That's part of our nature. It's not fluke. We need connection. We need people, meaning, purpose. It's not just money and jobs and a house and artificial means like that. You need to have connection, caring, real meaning, not just a cog in a machine to make somebody else money. It can work, but over time it'll degrade. And you'll see it. Why? Because people won't want to carry on. They'll hyper focus on themselves. They won't enjoy their experience in this world, even when it's fed to them. And eventually it'll fail. It doesn't matter. I can talk about this. At some point, it will not be able to carry on. I personally believe that's what we're seeing now. It's not about doom scrolling or freaking out. It's that if this bullshit is bullshit, it can't go forever. And I think all of the problems that we're seeing, in no small part, are because it's run its course. And anybody can say that's bullshit, that's not true. That's fine. But is that actually true, or is that them silencing their signal? Because what I say has enough validity to be challenging, and you need to make me negative make me not true for you to feel comfortable. Well, then be my guest, but all you can do is prove what I'm saying. The world can be changed if we first figure out how to change ourselves, in no small part. Then we can move on to do it at scale. But we're not going to be able to do anything of meaning and purpose until we work on ourselves. And that's what I'm trying to do here. That's part of this conversation. And it starts with you realizing that at certain moments when you feel challenged, that something feels crazy, that is an opportunity for you to take pause, be present, and to realize where that's coming from. And when you are able to do that, the more you're able to do that, the more you're willing to do that, the more free you are from it. Step by step, bit by bit, we can be less crazy by experiencing less crazy. But that's up to us.